Hello everyone again. Welcome to the second tutorial video for the Facilitator on the risk sharing platform, a platform that is created to provide humanitarian and development consortia with a practical and transparent as well as consistent way to share risks. Now we are in the third step, shared risks. Let's quickly go over what we have done. Before we started the tutorial, the admin of the platform created for us a consortium and assigned a facilitator to this consortium. In the first video, we created organizations, we created users, we added users to those organizations in less than 5 or 6 minutes. Today, we will see how to share risks, the meat of the platform. So let's sign in. Credentials already filled. Sign in again. I already added 6 risks from the organization users because that's how the platform works. Who adds the risks are the organization users. Then the facilitator will review them. So I have added already 6 risks. I already shared 1. So 5 are pending for review. Let's go and see from where we are going to share those risks and review them first. We click on risk review. Now they will pop up. Here they are. As you can see, there are different risks here. And as I have mentioned, I already approved 1 risk earlier before the tutorial. So let's approve this one together. But before we do this, it's worth mentioning that there are additional fields to be added by the facilitator after the primary identification is done by the organization user. We will get to the primary identification process when we start the organization user tutorials. So let's see now what will the facilitator receive. We'll receive the risks like this, pending for review. We'll click edit and we'll see and review the primary identification inputs. The title is included, as you can see, community attention over beneficiary selection. The category is added here. In the organizational review is reputational. Risk statements is included, likelihood and impact statements is usually included in source risk impact format. And we will see that when we get to the organization user tutorials, as well as the trigger, and finally the general mitigation measure. So what are the additional fields for the facilitator to complete? Preventive, reactive measures, as well as different organization roles. There are 2 ways to do this, either to have a meeting and to set a meeting like we have, like we will see in the coming video, or the second way is that the facilitator will put his inputs considering the different risk appetite for the different organizations, and then to discuss it later on. I personally prefer the second one. Facilitator shall do his homework and add some of the additional details here before getting everyone involved. So I have prepared some reactive and preventive measures to be added here. Let's add the preventive measure first. For this specific risk, due to inconsistent application of vulnerability criteria, this is the source of the risk. Translate and publicly post the selection criteria. This is the preventive measures we have. And let's do the reactive measure. Reactive measure, if the risk is materialized, will hold joint clarification sessions in affected areas. Very important to do this. What could be the different organizational roles here? Let's say the first organization will simply lead the community engagement and grievance response, and the second one can be from the donor support, fund community feedback systems, and oversight tools. Let's just complete this one together. We don't have to fill for each organizational role, so it's completed now. Let's just save it. It is saved now. Perfect. As you can see, it is saved. All the information we have added is already saved here. let's double check together before moving forward and see what to do with this risk. As you can see, everything is filled here really nicely. So now what to do with this risk as it's still under pending tag. Here we have the name of the organization that identified the risk. We have the date of identification, and we have the name of the consortium. So the full information is available for us. Then we can change the status of the risk. We can either approve this risk and it will move to the risk register, or we can reject this risk, providing a reason for rejecting this risk. Like we can say, for example, this risk shall be handled solely by the NGO that identified this risk, and change the status. The risk will be rejected and will get back to the organization user. Otherwise, we can just approve this risk and change the status here, or keep it pending for further discussions. Let's say that we already approved this risk and click change the status of it. You can see it went to the approved risk. We have two different risks here. This one is colored pink because we are activating this risk. Earlier activated it. So now we have two risks shared in the shared risk register. The one we done together, community tension over beneficiary selection, and the first one I have done before this video. So let's say that this risk has been activated because of the trigger has been done. It is not triggered. So what is the trigger here? The trigger is shipment delay over 10 days. Let's imagine that this already happened and took place. We'll go to risk review and we'll go to the second tab, which is approved risks. And we can simply activate this risk from here. As soon as we activate it, it will turn red. That means it's time to move and apply the different mitigation measures. If we see the shared risk register, we'll see one triggered risk, the other one is not triggered. So this is how we share risk to the facilitator point of view. Let's get to the consortium. Let's go to to the risk review, and let's reject one of those different risks and see what happened. So here we can go to the status, immediately reject this risk, and write the status of rejection. NGO shall handle this risk as it's not impacting other actors in the delivery chain. I have a problem with the spelling of handle, I guess. Then change the status. We'll see it will be removed to the rejected tab. So this is a quick look at how the facilitator will help into adding more information, into enriching those different risks, and into sharing them, triggering them. And now we will discuss in the next video how we are going to follow up through meetings. The next videos will include also setting action items here, and we'll give a look at the different resources we have. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.